Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Houston Sharpshooters Draft Glory franchise mode here in NHL 22. So last episode we simulated the entire season and we managed to make it back to the playoffs still, which is kind of a surprise. We did fall off a lot near the end of the season though. As you can see in our last 10 games we are 1-7-2, so I don't really know if I like our chances going into the playoffs, but who knows, maybe this team will just randomly turn it on at the best time possible. But this is what our roster looks like going into the postseason. As you can see, we still got Sea-Doo, Burns, and Cole. Petrovicky, who almost scored 40 goals this year with Ortiz and King. Third line, Jacobs, Petain, Efenasenkov, and a fourth line of the Salvatore, Radulov, and Zigomanis. And then obviously our defensive core is still really good. Griffin didn't hit 100 points this season, which was not really a surprise because of the loss of our big guys like Jaskline and Thornton, but he picked up 95 points still and had over 20 goals, so I feel like he should win his third straight Norris, but there is an opportunity for Jeffrion, who's in Minnesota, to win it, just based on the plus-minus factor. But in general, really good season again from Griffin, and hopefully he could have a good playoffs, because last year he was point per game, but then he did kind of fell off near the end of the first round, so that's why we lost. But yeah, hopefully Griffin could have a good postseason. And yeah, the rest of our defensive core, like Sedin and Teratukin, also had really good seasons still. Goalie-wise, our goaltending was not really that great, so I hope that it could be a little bit better in the playoffs this year. But don't really know what to make of our team, and maybe we'll just surprise teams in these postseason. As we're going to be taking on Dallas in the first round, who won our division. And yeah, they had like, I think, 14 more points than us, I said, if I'm not mistaken. But you can see kind of why they have really good forward core. Like, you got an 89... You got an 86, an 86, an 87, an 87 on the third line. Like, you got really good center depth. It's just a little bit weak when you have Otterize and stuff there and Solovyov. But other than that, you have some really good offensive players. And then defensively, they're not the best either, but they did somewhat better than us defensively. So can't count out this defensive core. And their goaltending is pretty solid as well with Nikitin and Nestorov. Depth-wise, they have 3 depth defensemen as well, so they do have a lot of defenders in their lineup just in case they run into injury problems, I guess. Or they could easily just substitute like one of these guys for one of their depth guys. So should be a very interesting series ahead. We haven't played Dallas in a number of years, I think, in the first round, but we're finally back to playing them again. It's been a really good rivalry kind of in the postseason with them, so maybe we'll reignite the rivalry that we've had with them in the past. Kind of similar with like Toronto and Ottawa. They haven't played each other in the playoffs in real life in a long time, but once that happens, it's going to definitely make that rivalry like kind of spark a little bit more. But anyways, let's get into this first round matchup and see if we can pull off an upset. Obviously, we won't have home ice this entire playoffs, so let's see what happens in Dallas. See if we can get a win here on the road randomly. First period of game 1. And it's 1-1, I'll take that for sure. Lawton scores on goalie, but then Efenasenkov scores, so that's a 77 score in our goal. It's kind of a surprise. Shots are 10-10 as well, so pretty even first period despite our team being definitely a lot weaker in terms of our offensive core, but good to see we have a tie after 1. Second period, 3-1 for your Houston Sharpshooters. Well, I didn't expect that. Sea-Doo makes it 2-1, so we brought the same Sea-Doo back a couple episodes ago, and he's been pretty good. He almost scored, I think, like, he scored over 40 goals with us this season, so it's good to have him on our roster to kind of give us a little bit more of an offensive boost in terms of the postseason. Wish I could have brought him back when we still had Thornton and Jaskalainen, because then our team maybe would have had a shot to win a Stanley Cup. And then Cole's going to make it a 3-1 game, so we have a 2-goal advantage going into the third. We're outshoot him 22-17. Let's see if we can lock this one down here in the third period. Power play opportunity, and we do not convert. Come on, boys, let's just lock this game down. We just don't want to give their offense anything. But yeah, we're definitely playing a lot better than I expected to start this first round matchup, especially after how we ended the season. So, because we only had like one win in our last few games, and Umberger gets the empty netter, and we're going to win 4-1. In game 1 as we stomp on Dallas in their home building. So very solid first game. Efenasenkov from Jacobs, Sea-Doo from Sedin and Burns, Cole from Griffin and Umberger from Griffin. So Griffin with 2 points in the first game. That's exactly what we need from Griffin if we want to win a Stanley Cup this year. Like, if he can continue to produce in every single game, we will have definitely a good shot at maybe making it past the first round, because if he goes quiet, then our offense isn't going to do that much. And then also Daryl Goalie had a really good game, which is kind of a surprise because Daryl Goalie has not really had good numbers in his career, and he's never had really good playoff numbers. So that was a very good first game for him. He gets first star of the game. Umberger the second star with 2 points, and Sea-Doo the third. Not too bad. Kind of surprised Griffin didn't get a star, but Umberger played pretty good as well, and he's kind of a nice little story, Umberger, because he played like the last few years in the AHL, I'm pretty sure, so good to see him getting an opportunity back up here with the NHL squad. So I'm not going to change anything about our roster because that was a very good textbook first game of the series. Good offense, good defense, good goaltending. Let's see if we could take a 2-0 series lead headed home. That'd be awesome if we could. Because if we could take both these games on the road, I would be pretty surprised, I'd say. First period of game 2. And it's 1-0 for us. Let's go, and it's Cole again. Okay. I see you, Cole. Are you going to act like Eric Cole and score a lot of like goals in the playoffs? I don't know. 1-0 though for us after one. Shots are 13-9 in favor of Dallas, so pretty good opening period also from goalie and net. Let's see what happens in the second period. See if we could add to our lead a little bit. Second period, 2-1 for us. I'll take that as well. Petrovicki, who scored a lot of goals in the regular season, makes it 2-0, but then Haynes will get a power play goal for the Dallas Stars to pull them within one. Shots are 26-19 in favor of Dallas. We're only up by a goal. Can we get some insurance here in the third? And can goalie still play dominant like he's been playing in this round so far? Let's see what happens in this third period. See if we can get some insurance. Come on, boys. Come on. And Dylan's going to tie the game up, of course. Goddamn. Hey, but Morgan Griffin restores us the lead. Damn, Morgan Griffin is leading by example so far in this first round. That's a big goal from Morgan Griffin. He had 23 in the regular season, and Radulov, a fourth liner, makes it 4-2, and that's a big goal. And we are going to take a 2-0 series lead on the division-winning Dallas Stars, which is a big surprise. Didn't expect us to be up 2-0 going home, but we are. So Cole from Burns, Petrovicki from King and Griffin, Griffin from Umberger, and Radulov from Zygmunt's and Tertukin. So Griffin and Umberger both have 3 points in the first two games combined, so very impressed with the two of them. Griffin had 2 points, and then everybody else had 1 point. Not bad. Some good plus-minus from Griffin and Umberger. They seem to be a pretty good defensive pairing. If they're a defensive pairing, I'm not 100% sure with that. And a very nice game as well from Daryl Goalie, who made 36 saves on 38 shots. So Daryl Goalie is starting to play like an actual good playoff goalie, and if he continues to play like this, he's going to probably ask for a lot of money in the offseason, even if he played terribly during the regular season. But he gets first star again, Griffin the second star, and Cole the third, who also had 4 hits apparently that game. Okay, so we win both games in Dallas. Are we going to be able to win games on home ice, though, is the thing. We want to win games on home ice as well. We can't just win on the road, you know. Okay, I'm not going to change anything with our lines again. We played pretty good in that last game. Definitely was a little bit more closer, but let's see what happens in Game 3. See if we could take a 3-0 stranglehold with a win on home ice. That would be really nice. Because right now we're kind of playing my expectations to an extent. So let's see what happens here in Game 3. First period, 1-0 Dallas. I guess I'll take that. It's still a good defensive period. Gardner scores for the Dallas Stars. They're out shooting us 14-9, so they are getting a lot more chances the last 2 games, which I don't really like. Hopefully we can play a little bit better defensively and limit their chances a bit, but Daryl Goalie's still been a brick, so hopefully he can still be a brick in the second period, and hopefully our team can get back in this game because he's kept it close. Second period, 3-0 Dallas. Oh, no, that's not good. Wild and Bootland score, and it looks like we're probably going to lose our first game of the series. Shots are 27-16 also in favor of Dallas, so I don't see us coming back in the third period, but let's see what happens. But yeah, we might make some adjustments because of this game. I'm not going to blame Daryl Goalie on this game because he's still playing pretty solid, it looks like. McGrath makes it 3-1, okay. But I might have to make some adjustments to our defensive core or offensive core. Sedin makes it 3-2, okay. Are we going to try and tie this game up? Can we tie it up? Come on, boys. Please? One more goal? No, we cannot. Wild gets the empty netter. And we almost came back in that third period with goals from defensemen. So our defensive core has been scoring more than our offense, I feel like, at this stage. Still a pretty solid game, I'd say, for goalie. 4 goals against, or 3 goals against, I should say, on 39 shots or something like that. So pretty solid. They had 3 straight goals, though, and that was pretty much the difference. McGrattan, though, from Afinisenkov and Petain, and Sedin from Zigomanis and Di Salvatore. No points from Griffin in that game, which you could see why we lost, because we need Griffin to pick up points, or else we won't win. And there was quite a few -3 players, and that was all our top line, so that's a little bit scary. Griffin and Umberger were also minus in that game, so that's not great. And yeah, it was a good performance from goalie, I'd say. 3 stars of the game, Wild, Bootland, and McGrattan actually gets 3rd star, which is kind of a surprise with that 1 goal. But yeah, we're going to make some adjustments going into game 4, just to kind of get our team back a bit. It seems like whoever scores 4 goals is the guaranteed winner in this round for some reason. Let's go to edit lines, maybe make a little bit adjustments to the forward core, because I feel like we're getting more offense from our back end than anything. Because we have 4 defenders with already 1 goal in this series, 5 players on the defensive core with points. And then you go to offense, and it's not as good, I feel like. So, what we could do any of these guys take face-offs? Down here on the bottom 6. 70 is not terrible. 68. Doesn't really look like it. Does King take face-offs? He does, but I don't really want to move Ortiz down. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that can take face-offs really down there. Di Salvatore can apparently take face-offs, so maybe I move Radulov up? I don't know. There's not really much I could do. I'm going to move Petrovicki up and move Cole down just to see if Petrovicki can get going, because he's got 1 goal in 3 games. And in the defensive core, we're gonna move Tertukin back up to play with Sedin and leave this minus pairing again. See if that helps out a little bit. And yeah, goalie's still going to be the goalie for this first round matchup. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, that top pairing is still doing really well, so we'll keep them together for sure. Okay, let's get into game 4. See if we could take a 3-1 series lead here, or are we going to have a tie series headed back to Dallas? Come on, boys. Got to win for our fans as well. Can't just be winning games on the road only. Come on. Who do I want to call upon for goals this game? Maybe Sea-Doo? I don't know. First period of game 4. 1-0 Dallas. So same outcome as last game for some reason, but shots are a little bit closer, 13-10, so that's good at least. But 1-0 for them after 1 as Wild has a power play goal. Can we tie this game back up in the second period, and can goalie keep the puck out of the net in the second period and not let in 2 goals like he did last game? Second period, there you go. We tied the game up, and it's Morgan Griffin, so he takes 1 night off to not pick up any points, but he does tie the game up here, and the shots are also even, 23 apiece. It's a 1-1 game. Let's see what happens in the third period, see if we can take the lead. Come on, boys. Come on, Griffin. Come on, Umberger. I really like that pairing right now. It's been playing pretty good in this first round, so. Hey, Sam Sea-Doo scores. I did call upon him a little bit earlier, but 2-1 game for us. Let's go, Sea-Doo. Final few minutes of this important game 4. Come on, lock it down. Lock it down, boys. Lock it down? Hey, we managed to lock it down, and we're 1 win away from upsetting the Dallas Stars, which I did not expect that to happen, but maybe it was just based on how we simulated in the last few games of the season that his team all of a sudden just woke up. So, shots were 35-34, and Sam Sea-Doo's goal proves to be the game-winning goal, and we are 1 win away from going to the second round. So, Griffin from Radulov and Zigomanis, and Sea-Doo from Burns. I'm glad I kept Burns around as well, so to help out our offense and defensive bit. So, plus-minus wise, no minus players, which is good. A lot of shots from a couple guys, and goaltending was great again. The play of Daryl goalie has also been a very good determining factor in this first round so far. He's been absolutely lights out. He gets first star for the 3rd time in the series. Nikitin the 2nd star, and Sea-Doo the 3rd. Okay, let's get to game number 5 and see if we could take out Dallas on their home ice. It's been a pretty close series in terms of goal scoring, but Daryl goalie's just been amazing so far. So yeah, we're not going to make any changes to our lineup because I think our team has been simulating pretty well for the most part. Let's see if we could take out Dallas on their home ice. If we lose this game, I might have to make some adjustments though, but can we take out Dallas in 5 games? First period, scoreless. I'll definitely take that. Daryl goalie has just been focused in, it seems like, this entire series so far. Shots are 10-10, and it is a 0-0 game after 1. Who is going to break the deadlock in the second period? Second period, 3-0 for us. Let's go. Petrovicki, Zigomanis, and Ortiz. That is 3 different lines, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe Petrovicki and Ortiz, I think, are on the same line. But Zigomanis is like on the 4th line, so our depth shows up. We're being outshot 27-19. And once again, it's another strong game for goalies so far. And we're 1 period away from going to the second round and taking out the division champs, which is kind of crazy. Let's see what happens in this third period, see if we can lock this one down and head our way over to the second round. Bootland scores a shorthanded goal early in the period, which is a bit scary. Don't let us determine how this period goes, boys. Let's lock this game down. Final 6 minutes of this third period, final 5. Come on, lock it down. Power play opportunity late, and we are going to get a power play empty netter from Ortiz. And we win 4-1 and also take the series 4-1. And we somehow managed to upset the division champs, and we're going to the second round. We are literally being the cheese team right now. We got outshot 36-28, but Daryl goalie stood on his head the entire round. And yeah, we're going to the second round for the first time in a few years, I think. So Petrovicki from Griffin and Sea-Doo, Zigomanis from Burns and Griffin, Ortiz from King and Teratukin, and Ortiz from Griffin and Sea-Doo. So Griffin is the main reason why we're doing good in these playoffs right now. He had 3 points in that game, did I just see? Yeah, he had 3 assists in that game. Sea-Doo had 2 assists as well. Ortiz had multiple goals. Not bad. There we go. Couple minus players as well, not a lot though. And yeah, another really good performance from Daryl goalie. And 972. Pretty damn awesome. 3 stars of the game, goalie again. He was the first star in literally every one of our wins in this series, so that's pretty impressive. And then Ortiz gets 2nd star, Griffin 3rd star with those 3 assists. So we're somehow off to the second round, which I didn't expect, especially after losing Jaskalainen and Thornton. But let's take a look at our player stats in that first round, and then we will simulate up to the second round and see who we are facing for that. So let's start off with our forward core. Actually, center core, why not? Burns 4 assists in 5 games, no goals. Hopefully he can get on the board a bit in terms of scoring goals in the next series, but not too bad. Ortiz had 2 goals, but both of them were in that game 5, so I'll take it. Radulov 2 points in 5 games, and Petain 1 point. So the depth scoring is not really the best on the team, but at least we're getting wins. We're playing good defensively in the playoffs. Sea-Doo and Zigomanis both had 4 points, which is kind of surprising that Zigomanis is picking up that much amount of points, because he's only playing like 12-15 in the game, which is not really a whole lot. So good to see him picking up points though. King 2 points, to Salvatore and Jacobs both 1 point, so not bad. Cole, Petrovicki, and Afinasenkov all with 2 points. So everybody on our forward core had a point in that first round at least. So there's depth scoring, but it's not really the strongest depth scoring. So that's interesting. And then defensively, Griffin had 8 points in 5 games. He is trying his hardest to get this team a Stanley Cup. That would be awesome if he could do that. He could be like the Cale Makar that like just kind of leads the team by example. Shooting 22.2% this postseason so far. Yeah, hopefully he can continue doing what he's been doing in that second round. Umberger 3 points in 5 games plus 4. Sedin 2 points plus 3. Teratukin also had 2 points. McGrattan had 1, and nothing from Lowe. But I'd say our defensive core has been better in terms of depth scoring than our forward core. And goalie-wise, Daryl goalie was absolutely insane. 4-1 with a 9.53 and a 1.6. So hopefully we don't just get lit up in the second round, but it's pretty good. Pretty damn good. And yeah, Griffin doubled the next closest player on our team in points. So you can see that Griffin is the main cause of our offense on this roster, kind of like what he did in regular season. So there is that. Now the question is, who are we playing in round 2? Now that we've knocked out a team in Dallas. Dallas Stars fans probably hate us. And it's going to be the Minnesota Wild. Interesting, okay. Minnesota. Have we ever played Minnesota in the playoffs before? I don't think so. They went 49, 29, and 4 in the regular season. 5-5 in our last 10 games going into the playoffs. But let's take a look at their season numbers first. And then we will take a look at their playoff numbers. And then we'll take a look at their roster and see how it makes sense or not, if it does. So regular season wise, they're obviously also in our division. They finished 2nd place in our division. So we knocked out the first team. Can we knock out the 2nd best team in our division? They scored only a little bit more goals than us, only 5 more goals in the season. They were much better defensively, so they're a good defensive team apparently. Their power play was also a little bit better by 2.3%. And their penalty kill was worse than ours, so that's kind of interesting. So we're kind of similar teams in a sense, but they're better obviously defensively. That's the main draw. In terms of the playoffs so far, how have they been? Out of curiosity, let's go to Western Conference. What do we got here? So Minnesota swept the first round. Yikes, that's, oh my god, that is scary as heck. Okay, they're going to be a tough team to beat. 5.5 goals per game in 4 games. So they scored a ton of goals in those 4 games, and they only allowed 1 goal per game. That goals for to goals against differential is actually insane. Their power play was 41.7%, and their penalty kill was 100%. So everything is going right for the Minnesota Wild right now. So if we could somehow beat them, I will be shocked, because they were insane in that first round. Wow. I'm kind of scared to see what their roster looks like now. It's probably a really good team. If it's a cheese team, though, then maybe we have a chance. But still, that is an insane first round. Scoring 5.5 goals per game in 4 games. And yeah, I can see why they're pretty good. Looks like they're led by this Zane Stewart guy who had 9 points in 4 games. 4 of them are goals. God damn. This guy's insane. Solomon Acton, another really good piece, and Joachim Granlund. So 2 really good players with kind of like a depth forward, which is kind of weird. Second line has Timo Karatin with Cody Tanaka and Philippe Belanger. So pretty solid second line. Belanger's a bit weak, but still I'd say it's a good complementary line. Third line, Blunden, Almquist, and Hamonic. It's not great. Their bottom 6 is a little bit weaker, but their center depth is good. And their fourth line has got Alexander Karpovtsev. No, not the guy that passed away years ago, but that's interesting. They also have Todd Martinez and Bryant Yonkman. See, I feel like their fourth line is better than their third line, but this team has very good depth on offense. And in defensively, oh yeah, they have Vincent Jeffrey on. So the guy that's going up against Griffin for the Norse this year, I'd say. He is their top defenseman. I forgot about that for some weird reason. So we had to have him watch out for him. He had 5 assists in 4 games, so it's going to be back and forth between the two of them. That's definitely the talk of this second round, I'd say. They also have Ludwig Olofsson, Ulf Ottoson, Lane Triff, and a top 6 pairing of Callie Telquist, Chase Molson, who's also got good potential. Very interesting defensive core. A little bit weaker than I expected, but yeah, Jeffreyon is a stud defenseman. When was he drafted? 2nd overall. He also played in Los Angeles, but didn't play as good over there, looks like. Yeah, this guy's a stud. 18 points in 20 games last year in the playoffs. 18 points there, 16 points there. And it's definitely going to be very interesting to see him go head-to-head with Griffin. And then goalie-wise, they got Isaac Lundmark and Brett Palin. Interesting. Solid goaltending looks like as well. And yeah, Lundmark was insane in that first round with a .966 save percentage and a 1 goals against average. Depth-wise, they have Taylor Buss, George Hancock, and Len Stajan. So they have a pretty good roster. I could see why they simulated good offensively because of some of the pieces they have, and also having good pieces on the back end to help out that offense. And then their goaltending is not bad either, so should be a very tough second round. But if we could somehow pull off the upset, we will be in the conference finals against either Seattle or Vancouver. And then also you can see in the East there is New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Boston, and Ottawa. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Houston Sharpshooters Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to the second round against the Minnesota Wild as we look to make it to the conference finals for the first time in a long time and pull off the upset against the Wild. So I guess think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.